joining us for Storytime this morning. We have a very special guest here with us today. Chief Reyes is here to read you guys some stories. And before we do that, we'll just do our intro song, Hello Friends, and we'll teach Chief Reyes the sign language to it.
All right.
So it starts off with hello,
Hello.
friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. All right, you got it?
Got it.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Good job. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Chief Reyes.
Good morning, Facebook friends. I hope everybody's doing okay with this social distancing and having to be at home. I know a lot of the kids are really enjoying not having to go to school, but I also know that your school administrators are doing a really good job of keeping you guys busy with schoolwork, because my two kids are pretty busy themselves every day doing their schoolwork at home. So if you are out there watching today, make a comment and let us know that you're watching, and share this with your friends if you're not. So I'm going to read a couple of books today. One of my personal favorites that I am going to be reading to you is Cat in the Hat. So we're going to start with that, and of course I can't read Cat in the Hat if I don't get into character, so I have my hat that I'm going to be wearing as I read this to you. Let me just get my coffee out of the way. Our local Rhino coffee. All right, so here we go. Cat in the Hat. The sun did not shine, it was too wet to play, so we sat in the house all that cold, cold, wet day. I sat there with Sally, we sat there we two, and I said, how I wish we had something to do. Too wet to go out and too cold to play ball, so we sat in the house, we did nothing at all. So all we could do was to sit, 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 and we did not like it, not one little bit. Bump, and then something went bump. How that bump made us jump. We looked, then we saw him step in on the mat. We looked and we saw him, the cat in the hat. And he said to us, why do you sit there like that? And I know it is wet and the sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun that is funny. I know some good games we could play, said the cat. I know some new tricks, said the cat in the hat. A lot of good tricks. I will show them to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do. Then Sally and I did not know what to say. Our mother was out of the house for the day. But our fish said, no, no, make that cat go away. Tell that cat in the hat you do not want to play. He should not be here. He should not be about. He should not be here when your mother is out. Now, have no fear, said the cat. My tricks are not bad, said the cat in the hat. Why, we can have lots of good fun if you wish, with the game that I call Up, Up, Up with the Fish. Put me down, said the fish. This is no fun at all. Put me down, said the fish. I do not wish to fall. Have no fear, said the cat. I will not let you fall. I will hold you up high as I stand on a ball, with a book on one hand and a cup on my hat. But that is not all I can do, said the cat. Look at me now, said the cat, with a cup and a cake on the top of my hat. I can hold up two books. I can hold up the fish and a little toy ship and some milk on a dish. And look, I can hop up and down on the ball, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. Look at me now. It is fun to have fun, but you have to know how. I can hold up the cup and the milk and the cake. I can hold up these books and the fish on a rake. I can hold a toy ship and a little toy man. And look, with my tail, I can hold a red fan. I can fan with the fan as I hop on the ball, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. That is what the cat said. And then he fell on his head. He came down with a bump from up there on the ball. And Sally and I, we saw all the things fall. And our fish came down too. He fell into a pot. He said, "Do I like this? Oh, no, I do not." "This is not a good game," said our fish as he lit. "No, I do not like it, not one little bit." "Now, look what you did," said the fish to the cat. "Now look at this house, look at this, look at that. You sank our toy ship, sank it deep in the cake. You shook up our house and you bent our new rake. You should not be here when our mother is not. You get out of this house," said the fish from the pot. "But I like to be here. Oh, I like it a lot," said the cat in the hat to the fish in the pot. "I will not go away. I do not wish to go. And so," said the cat in the hat, so, "I will show you another good game that I know." And then he ran out, and fast as a fox, the cat in the hat came back in with a box. A big redwood box. It was shut with a hook. "Now look at this trick," said the cat. "Take a look." Then he got up on top with the tip of his hat. "I call this game Fun in a Box," said the cat. "In this box are two things I will show to you now. You will like these two things," said the cat with a bow. "I will pick up the hook. You will see something new. Two things, and I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. These things will not bite you. They want to have fun." Then out of the box came Thing 2 and Thing 1. And they ran to us fast. They said, "How do you do? Would you like to shake hands with Thing 1 and Thing 2? And Sally and I did not know what to do, so we had to shake hands with Thing 1 and Thing 2. We shook their two hands, but our fish said, "No, no, those things should not be in this house. Make them go. They should not be here when your mother is not. Put them out, put them out," said the fish in the pot. "Have no fear, little fish," said the cat in the hat. "These things are good things," and he gave them a pat. "They are tame, oh so tame. They have come here to play. They will give you some fun on this wet, wet, wet day." "Now, here is a game that they like," said the cat. "They like to fly kites," said the cat in the hat. "No, not in the house," said the fish in the pot. "They should not fly kites in a house. They should not. Oh, the things they will bump. Oh, the things they will hit. I do not like it, not one little bit." Then Sally and I saw them run down the hall. We saw those two things bump their kites on the wall. Bump, thump, thump, bump. Down the wall in the hall. Then Thing 1 and Thing 2. They ran up, they ran down. On the string of one kite, we saw Mother's new gown. Her gown with the dots that are pink, white, and red. Then we saw one kite bump on the head of her bed. Then those things ran about with big bumps, jumps, and kicks, and with hops and big thumps, and all kinds of bad tricks. And I said, "I do not like the way that they play. If Mother could see this, oh, what would she say?" Then our fish said, "Look, look," and our fish shook with fear. "Your mother is on her way home. Do you hear? Oh, what will she do to us? What will she say? Oh, she will not like it to find us this way." "So do something fast," said the fish. "Do you hear? I saw her, your mother is near. So as fast as you can, think of something to do. You will have to get rid of Thing 1 and Thing 2. So as fast as I could, I went after my net, and I said, "With my net, I can get them, I bet. I bet with my net, I can get those things yet." Then I let down my net. It came down with a plop, and I had them at last. Those two things had to stop. Then I said to the cat, "Now you do what I say. You pack up those things, and you make them go away." "Oh dear," said the cat, "you did not like our game. Oh dear, what a shame, what a shame, what a shame." Then he shut up the things in the box with the hook, and the cat went away with a sad kind of look. "That is good," said the fish. "He has gone away. Yes, your mother will come home. She will find this big mess, and this mess is so big and so deep and so tall. We cannot pick up the things. There is no way at all." And then, who was back in the house? Why, the cat. "Have no fear of this mess," said the cat in the hat. "I always pick up all my playthings, and so I will show you another good trick that I know." Then we saw him pick up all the things that were down. He picked up the cake and the rake and the gown and the milk and the strings and the books and the dish and the fan and the cup and the ship and the fish. And he put them away. Then he said, that is that. And then he was gone with the tip of his hat. Then our mother came in and she said to us too, did you have any fun? Tell me, what did you do? And Sally and I did not know what to say. Should we tell her the things that went on there that day? Should we tell her about it? Now, what should we do? Well, what would you do if your mother asked you? The end.
We are going to do a quick song. We're going to sing If You're Happy and You Know It.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Stomp my feet.
If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet.
We're going to say yippee as loud as we can.
If you're happy and you know it, say yippee. Yippee! If you're happy and you know it, say yippee. Yippee! If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, say yippee. Yippee! If you're happy and you know it, get out some. Jingle on. If you're happy and you know it, get out some. Jingle on. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, get out some.
Wait for it.
Jingle on. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
And I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to Mr. John for letting us use his music.
All right. You guys get some of that energy out. I know that being cooped up all day sometimes can get you a little stir crazy. So thank you guys for joining us and being with us here this morning. The next book that I'm going to read to you guys is Horton Hears a Who. Horton Hears a Who. On the 15th of May in the jungle of Newell, in the heat of the day in the cool of the pool, he was splashing, enjoying the jungle's great joys when Horton, the elephant, heard a small noise. So Horton stopped splashing. He looked toward the sound. That's funny, thought Horton. There's no one around. Then he heard it again, just a very faint yelp, as if some tiny person were calling for help. I'll help you, said Horton. But who are you? Where? He looked and he looked. He could see nothing there but a small speck of dust blowing past through the air. I say, murmured Horton, I've never heard tell of a small speck of dust that is able to yell. So you know what I think? Why, I think that there must be someone on top of that small speck of dust. Then, sort of a creature of very small size, too small to be seen by an elephant's eyes. Some poor little person who's shaking with fear that he'll blow in the pool he has no way to steer. I'll just have to save him because after all, a person's a person, no matter how small. So gently and using the greatest of care, the elephant stretched his great trunk through the air. And he lifted the speck of dust and carried it over and placed it down safe on a very soft clover. the voice. 'Twas a sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Humph!" too. "Why, the speck is as small as the head of a pin. A person on that? Why, there has never been." "Believe me," said Horton, "I tell you sincerely, my ears are quite keen and I hear them quite clearly. I knew there's a person down there, and what's more, quite likely there's 2, even 3, even 4, quite likely. A family for all that we know. A family with children just starting to grow. So please," Horton said, "as a favor to me, try not to disturb them. Just please let them be." "I think you're a fool," laughed the sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Me too." And the kangaroos plunged in the cool of the pool. "What terrible splashing," the elephant frowned. "I can't let my very small persons get drowned. I've got to protect them. I'm bigger than they." So he plucked up the clover and he hustled away. Through the high jungle treetops, the news quickly spread. "He talks to the dust speck. He's out of his head. Just look at him walk with that speck on the flower." And Horton walked worrying almost an hour. "Should I put this speck down?" Horton thought with alarm. "If I do, these small persons may come to great harm. I can't put it down, and I won't. After all, a person's a person, no matter how small." The Horton stopped walking. The voice was talking. The voice was so faint he could just barely hear it. "Speak up, please," said Horton. He put his ear near it. "My friend," came the voice, "you're a very fine friend. You've helped all of us folks on this dust speck no end. You've saved all our houses, our ceilings and floors. You've saved all our churches and grocery stores." "You mean," Horton gasped, "you have buildings there too?" "Oh yes," piped the voice, "we most sincerely do." "I know," called the voice, "I'm too small to be seen, but I'm mayor of the town that is friendly and clean. Our buildings to you would seem so terribly small, but to us who aren't big, they are wonderfully tall. My town is called Whoville. For who, I am a who, and we whos are thankful and grateful to you." And Horton called back to the mayor of the town, "You're safe now, don't worry. I won't let you down." But just as he spoke to the mayor of the speck, 3 big jungle monkeys climbed up Horton's neck. The Wickersham brothers came shouting, "What's rot? This elephant's talking to whos who are not. They aren't any whos and they don't have a mayor, and we're going to stop all this nonsense, so there." They snatched Horton's clover. They carried it off to a black-bottomed eagle named Vladikov, a mighty strong eagle and very swift wing, and they said, "Will you kindly get rid of this thing?" And before the poor elephant could even speak, that eagle flew off with the flower in his beak. All that late afternoon and far into the night, that black-bottomed bird flapped his wings in fast flight, while Horton chased after with groans over stones, then tattered his toenails and battered his bones, and begged, "Please don't harm all my little folks, who have as much right to live as us bigger folks do." But far, far beyond him, that eagle kept flapping, and over his shoulder called back, "Quit your yapping. I'll fly the night through. I'm a bird. I don't mind. And I'll hide this. Tomorrow you'll never find it." And at 6:56 the next morning he did it. It sure was a terrible place that he hid it. He let the small clover drop somewhere inside of a great patch of clovers 100 miles wide. "Fine that," sneered the bird, "but I think you will fail." And he left with a flip of his black-bottomed tail. "I'll find it," cried Horton. "I'll find it or bust. I shall find my friends on a small speck of dust." And clover by clover with care, he picked up and searched them and called, "Are you there?" But clover by clover he found that no one that he sought for was just not around. And by noon poor old Horton, more dead than alive, had picked, searched, and piled up 9,005. Then, on through the afternoon, hour after hour, till he found them at last, on the 3,000,000th flower. "My friends," cried the elephant, "tell me, do tell, are you safe, are you sound? Are you whole, are you well?" From down on the speck came the voice of the mayor. "We've really had trouble, much more than our share. When that black-bottomed birdie let go and we dropped, we landed so hard that our clocks have all stopped. Our teapots are broken, our rocking chairs smashed, and our bicycle tires all blew up and crashed. So Horton, please," pleaded that voice of the mayor's, "will you stick by us whos while we're making repairs?" Of course, Horton answered. Of course I will stick. I'll stick by you small folks through thin and through thick. Humph, humphed a voice. For almost 2 days you've run wild and insisted on chatting with persons who've never existed. Such carrying-ons in our peaceable jungle, we've had quite enough of your bellowing bungle. And I'm here to state, snapped the big kangaroo, that your silly nonsensical game is all through. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, me too. With the help of the Wickersham brothers and dozens of Wickersham uncles and Wickersham cousins, and Wickersham in-laws whose help I've engaged, you're going to be roped and you're going to be caged. And as for your speck, that we shall boil in a hot steaming kettle of hazelnut oil. Boil it, gasped Horton. Oh, that you can't do. It's full of persons. That I'll prove it to you. Mr. Mayor, called Horton. Mr. Mayor, you've got to prove now that you're really there. So call a big meeting, get everyone out, make everyone who holler, make every who shout, make every who scream. If you don't, every who is going to end up in the hazelnut stew. And down on the dust speck, the scared little mayor quick called a big meeting in Whoville Town Square. And his people cried loudly, they cried out in fear, we are here, we are here, we are here, we are here. The elephant smiled. That was clear as a bell. The kangaroo surely heard that very well. All I heard, snapped the big kangaroo, was the breeze and the faint sound of wind through the far distant trees. I heard no small voices, and you didn't either. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, me neither. Grab him, they shouted, and cage the big dope. Lasso his stomach with 10 miles of rope. Tie the knots tight so he'll never shake loose. That dumb speck in the hazelnut juice. Horton fought back with a great vigor and vim, but the Wickersham gang was too many for him. They beat him, they mauled him, they started to haul him into the cage, but managed to call, to the mayor, don't give up, I believe in you all. A person's a person no matter how small. And you very small persons will not have to die if you make yourselves heard, so come on now and try. The mayor grabbed a tom-tom, he started to smack it, and all over Whoville, they whopped their big racket. They rattled tin kettles, they beat on brass pans, on garbage pail tops and old cranberry cans. They blew on bazookas and blasted great toots, on clarinets, oompas and boompas and flutes. Great gusts of loud racket rang high through the air. They rattled and shook the whole sky and the mare, called up through the howling mad hula-baloo. Hey Horton, how's this? Is our sound coming through? And Horton called back, I can hear you just fine, but the kangaroo's ears aren't as strong as mine. They don't hear a thing. Are you sure all your boys are doing their best? Are they making the noise? Are you sure who down in Whoville is working? Quick, look through your town. Is there anyone shirking? Through the town rushed the mayor from east to the west, but everyone seemed to be doing their best. Everyone seemed to be yapping or yipping. Everyone seemed to be bipping or bipping. But it wasn't enough, all this ruckus and roar. He had to find someone to help him make more. He raced through each building, he searched floor to floor. And just as he felt he was getting nowhere, he suddenly burst through a door, and that mayor discovered one shirker quite hidden away in the Fairfax Apartments, apartment 12J. A very, very small shirker named Jojo was just standing and bouncing a yo-yo, not making a sound, not a yip, not a chirp, and the mayor rushed inside and grabbed the young twerp. And he climbed with the lad up the Eiffelberg Tower. This, cried the mayor, is your town's darkest hour. This time for all who have blood that is red to come to the aid of their country, he said. We've got to make noises in greater amounts, so open your mouth, lad, for every voice counts. Thus he spoke as he climbed. When they got to the top, the lad cleared his throat and he shouted out, yop! And that yop, that one small extra yop, put it over. Finally, at last, from that speck on the clover, their voices were heard. They rang out clear and clean, and the elephant smiled. Do you see what I mean? They've proved they are persons, no matter how small, and their world was saved by the smallest of all. How true, yes, how true, said the big kangaroo, and from now on, you know what I'm planning to do. From now on, I'm going to protect them with you, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, me too. From sun in the summer, from rain when it's fallish, I'm going to protect them no matter how smallish. The end.
And for our crafts that we made today, this is inspired by the Dr. Seuss's one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. You can just take some paper plates, stick them on some popsicle sticks, and color them red and blue, or you could do other colors if you want. So, and before we go, Wednesday was actually Chief Reyes' 1 year with the city, and so the library has a special gift for you. Thank you for all your service.
Thank you guys so much. Wednesday was my 1 year anniversary, and the last year that I've been here in the city of Cedar Hill has just been so awesome. I love the community here. I love the citizens here. My family loves it here. Thank you all for doing your part with this quarantine. This is very important, trying times for our community and our country and everybody. Thank you guys for doing your part. Be blessed, be safe, and stay home, stay healthy. Thank you.
Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary, Chief Reyes. Happy anniversary to you. We appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Make sure you join us back here at 12 for Feel Good Friday. We have our very own Travis that is going to be juggling for you. All right, thank you.